Welcome back, everybody, to Skyrim 10AD. This is the second episode of Session 6, and our band of adventurers have very successfully stealthed their way into Helgen Keep, and they have taken out a couple of what seems to be scouts or guards on lookout, checking around to see if anybody is in the keep. They seem to have managed to get the aid of, if not maybe a new friend, definitely a new ally who seems to have a bone to pick with these bandits as well. But our new ally, our new adventurer, has come along and are now just outside the entrances to Helgen Keep, and that's where we pick up. So
after meeting our new acquaintance, I'm gonna rack my memory of Nordic culture, history, cults, religion, etc., and see if I can bring to mind a whatever would be causing this person to react so unpleasantly to the non-Nords in our party. So, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just thinking about my book learning. Is there anything that's would help explain why this person has this attitude?
You don't even have to roll anything. You have heard, like before you come to Skyrim, that a lot of people used to say that, don't go to Skyrim unless you're a Nord. There's a lot of that, and you've notoriously been sort of like, probably definitely wrongly sort of like people think that you, when you've met them before, are not going to like or going to be rude or insulting to other races that are not Nords. You never have been, and you get insulted by the fact that people think that you would be. But there is a general sort of like thing that Nords do not like anybody else that are not Nords.
Okay. So this is not this is not uncommon, I guess. Not to say it's necessarily typical, but it's not uncommon. Okay, that's.
Can we tell this person's age?
He's roughly around about your sort of age.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And does this Hemming have any obvious armament besides his bow?
He's just it looks like heavy armor. There's sort of like definitely a sort of like an iron plate there in the center, but it does seem to have some scale. And it's sort of like red and leather. I'd say probably the one who would have seen this most would have been Mouse. Mouse, roll a history check.
Oh, history. I've got. What is history? It is a intelligence. So, 14.
14. Yeah, it definitely. This kind of it looks like it used to be the breastplate from some heavy armor, but it's been altered and changed so it's not so restrictive. It's just over the chest, and to the sides where it's joined with is this red, and sort of like kind of chainmail effect that's very similar to Imperial soldiers' armor, the light or the medium type of armor that Imperial soldiers would wear. It looks very similar to that, and it's joined up with a metal breastplate in the front. But by no means it's not heavy armor. It's kind of more like a medium armor.
Mouse would like to try again and steps forward and says, "Friend, I was raised in Skyrim. People call me Mouse," and he reaches out his hand once more.
So Hemming reaches out in return.
Mouse nods at him.
And in return, he nods in return. Congenially.
So, you guys are...
He's crossing his fingers behind his back, right?
So you guys are there in the keep. There doesn't seem to be anywhere, and Hamming, you would know this, is that there is, at this time of night, from what you've observed, there's only ever 2 guards on at this time of night. There might be the odd 1 or 2 that would come out during the day to sort of like walk around, sort of like have a smoke or something like that, but at this time of night, you've never seen any the more than 2, and the shift change, the guard change, is not coming until the next morning. So you probably have some time. So you're both standing, you're grouped. You're not right up on the. Well, you've now probably Mouse has sort of like stepped away from the group slightly, but you're not in with the group so far yet. You're just shaking hands with Mouse, and you're standing outside the 2 entrances. You see the entrance to the left and you see the entrance to the right. What would you guys like to do?
Can we ask Hamming if he's observed how many bandits or miscreants he has observed in the keep?
Hmm.
If he's been there a while, sort of surveilling the place.
I mean, you probably know that there's been some in and out, but mostly it's only the guards that ever come in and out. And you've only been in there for about 3 days. So you've only seen the guards change. You actually haven't seen like a big load of them come in or out in the few days that you've been there.
I've just seen the normal changing of patrols and such.
Does most of the activity come from the main keep? In other words, the guard changes come in and out of there and move to whatever tower they need to be standing guard at.
You would notice that the guards have been coming out of the door that you've been through before. That you know that inside here is where the bedroom chambers, where all the guards sleep. They don't come out the door that leads into the tower. They come out the door off to
the Hadvar door, as it were.
Yeah, the Hadvar door. They come out of the Hadvar door. They don't come out of the tower door. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So he relays all this information to you.
Okay. Pardon me for asking, but what time are we at this point? Where are we in time in the?
Probably looking around about 8, 9, maybe 10 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
9, 10 p.m. So
Okay.
it's night now, and the moon's out.
I'd like to suggest that since we have some time, we should conceal the bodies.
Well, that would require at least walking all the way back to the south tower there.
We can take care of this one that's closer first.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But isn't he up on top of the tower there?
Yeah, you have a look around, and as you look up, you can see to get to the top of the tower, there seems to be a ladder right next to the tower, but that's also on the roof of the Hadvar door building. Mm-hmm. So, like, the kind of like the billet or the barracks area, and there doesn't seem to be a ladder leading up to that one.
Well,
if you want, somebody could probably try an acrobatics check if they wanted to see him try and like jump up and climb up onto the roof.
Yeah, I
can.
Okay.
I got a +3 dexterity as well, so.
Yeah, I have a skill in acrobatics also.
So Jaquai, you want to roll a d20?
Is that body really visible?
He's right at the very top of the tower.
If there's any way to give, since we've got time to organize, if there's any way to give assistance, by giving us levering up or giving it, to maybe give them advantage or otherwise.
Be a boost.
I got a 24.
There we go.
So, just as you're saying this, you're putting your shield to one side. He goes, "I'll give you a boost, Jaquai." He just sees this tail just flip right over the top and stuff like as he disappears up on the roof.
Very nice.
Botta, if you want to get up there as well with him, you can roll with advantage.
Yeah, I'll hop up there. Let's see. With advantage is 3, though.
There you go.
Nice. 20.
20, yeah. So without issue, sort of like look down there, pretty much just with all his strength, just boosts you straight up there, noise. And you walk around and you see the tower, see the ladder, and it's just leaning against the tower there. So like Jaquai, you head up there and have a look around, and sure enough, there's the guy who's got 3 arrows in him now, 1 through the throat.
Can I grab any of those?
Are you talking to me or talking to Jaquai?
No, he wants to take some of the arrows
Can I
for his
grab
own quiver.
Yeah. So make an investigation check. You're having a look over the body, seeing what you can loot.
I roll a 20 here.
Oh, so you get 6.
No, hang on. 4. Sorry.
4. So you find 4 silver pieces on him, and you try and take the arrows out to try and loot them, but when you're pulling them out, you break them trying to pull them out.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, great.
But you get to the top of the tower, and literally there's no way down, there's nowhere in, and there is sort of like a ridge all the way around. If you wanted to hide a body, this is probably the perfect place to hide a body. There's no way up apart from the ladder, so nobody can get up here to have a look what's up here without a ladder. So if you came down from the keep and then moved the ladder away, nobody's going to find that body.
Perfect. Good plan. Jaquai, you want to hide a body with me?
Yeah.
I hope we don't have to do this that often.
A couple of minutes later, they come back down.
Okay.
So while they're up there fiddling with the corpse, I'll ask Hamming. Do you know where here in Helgen where we might investigate? We didn't have time to look around before we got beset by these bandits. Where should we go after this?
I would say to be set by.
How you want to just go inside the keep?
Yeah.
Go in and you just want to kill everything that's in there. So you know that in the Hadvar door, that's the sleeping quarters. That's where there's loads of beds and where the soldiers used to sleep, and probably that's where all the guards have been coming out of when they're doing the shift change. You haven't seen anybody come out of the Rayloft door.
Hey, Colin, could you click on where that is on the map? Just because I don't have my bearings here. Could you I'll get Hamming to point out the door.
Yeah. So this is the
got it.
door.
Got it. Thanks.
That's the.
So Hamming's relayed all this info to all of us.
Yes.
Okay. So Mouse looks at the northernmost of the doors, the Rayloft door, and raises his eyebrows and sort of moves his head in that direction, indicating that maybe we should go in there. Yes,
he's talking to you, Hamming.
To everybody, to the group in general.
Yeah, I'll nod. Sounds right, and wait for the other two to show up, maybe to get back from their little mission.
On the roof.
Yeah, we scamper down and
Okay.
Scamper down. They're listening in. They were sort of like just moving the ladder down and sort of like putting it back at the back behind the wall, laying it down flat. So you all come down and they relay this information. They're thinking that entering into this tower, maybe they might be able to get in sort of like, without anybody realizing that they're there too quickly.
Sounds good.
Yep,
So,
agreed.
what's the marching order here? Who wants to go in first? What order do you want to go in?
Well, I think Mouse is going to go up and very quietly try the latch on the door to see if it's locked or not.
It is locked.
It is locked. So he'll look around and tell everybody it's locked and pull out his thieves' tools and attempt to unlock the door very quietly.
So roll a thieves' tools check. I think that's dexterity.
Is it dexterity? Okay.
Dexterity and proficiency.
And
I have a guidance cantrip that if your roll is short, you can add a D4 to it.
oh, good. Let's see. What did you say it was?
It's D4, so roll a D4 and add it to
yeah,
whatever you just rolled.
The D4, but what it is?
It's I have a
Tell me
cantrip.
what
I just
No, I'm
basically
asking
lay my
Colin.
hands on your head.
I'm asking Colin.
Bless
what-
your hand.
Yeah, I'm asking Colin. What is it?
Oh, sorry.
Dexterity, right? So
Dexterity and proficiency. So
yeah, so 6. So I have pardon me with my math. So 8, and then a D4 plus 3, so 11. Thank you,
That's good.
thank you, Luke.
that's good because the DC is 10.
Awesome.
Yeah, Luke just sneaks over your corner and you're going to break that. Yeah, just as you're about to put his hand on your shoulder and he goes, you're going to break that one. And you sort of like give a little sigh to yourself and say, what would he? Oh, yeah, I am. And then you write
Ken
yourself
Rath moves in mysterious ways, my young friend.
Yes, yes.
So you managed to unlock the door. You haven't opened it yet, but you have unlocked the door.
Mouse reaches over and just squeezes Luke's shoulder and says quietly, "Thank you." So the door's unlocked. So we'll open it very quietly.
Okay, I'd like
We go in
everybody.
quiet or we
so,
go in hard?
Right, so who's going in? What marching order? And could every right? First of all, who's
Before once Mouse has succeeded, I turn to the group and whisper, "Do we go in quiet or do we go in hard?"
Well,
Jaquai will go in and get an assessment of how many people we're looking at in this first row.
yeah, I agree with Jaquai. I think we go in as quiet as possible.
Okay.
Body puts the loot away.
You see Botty just standing there with a loot. She's like, so like her face just drops. It's like, oh, she just she puts the loot away. So can I have so our Mouse and Jaquai going in there first?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll come in shadowing Jaquai, basically.
Okay, so
Alright,
can I
so-
get both of you to roll self checks, please?
Mine's 20.
And I am 14.
Okay, so the two of you slip inside the door, and as you step through the door, there is some light coming down from some small candles that seem to be on an old, very battered chandelier, but there doesn't seem to be anybody around. You're not hearing anybody, you don't see anybody. And you slowly step in, and then you notice that there's, turning to your right, it's got a metal gate over. Seeing as locks is your thing, Mouse, you have a quick look at it and you notice that it's just a latch. There's no lock there, so you should be fine there. And you also, there's a way to your left. There's doesn't seem to be any gate there or anything like that either. It just seems to be through. That's heading down to a hallway, which you do see some very bright light coming from. At the very end of the hall, there's a brazier that's like a standing brazier, stands about probably shoulder height, and it's got some embers burning away in it. It's giving off a half decent light in it, and it's right up against the far wall, and that's about as all you can see. You can't hear anything either.
Okay, Mouse would like to just motion the rest of them through the door very quietly and make sure the door closes silently, so nobody senses any, breezes moving through the building or any too much flickering of the candles.
Okay, so can I have everybody else? That's Hamming, Botty, and Luke roll for stealth, and obviously rolling disadvantage you, please, Luke. Unless you want to stay outside.
No, I'll go in. Not too bad on that one. Let's see what the second one. Hey, 14. So 15 actually. So yeah, 15.
I rolled a 3.
Leave it to the new guy.
Hamming and Mouse are both young, and so
And you rolled a 3. Let me just check your
Body has an 8.
8. Oof. And did you add your dexterity to that, Butty?
Yeah, I gave it a +3, so I rolled a 5. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yours is dexterity. Give me a second here, Hamming. Just checking. You got a +3, so you get a 6 total, I'm afraid.
Wow.
As you're stepping through the door, Hamming is coming just behind you, and he turns around to make sure that the priest in heavy armor is coming through nice and quietly when half his arrows fall out of him. And you just hear ding, 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 falling down on the floor. And Hamming is sort of like, he smells kind of ripe as well. He's not 100% sort of like, just bathed or sort of like had a snow shower or anything like that. But he's kind of ripe, and he's just dropped all his arrows down on the floor. He sort of like kind of looks up with dirt in his face, and he's sort of like kind of giving you a "I meant to do that" look.
Okay.
Jaquai shakes his head and says, "This is why I stay in cover."
So you all quiet down. You sort of like, you're holding and sort of like Hamming is as quietly as he can. He's picking up his arrows one by one.
Yeah, Mouse is going to help him a little bit. Just quietly pick up the arrows and hand them back to him.
Let's have a look here. We got 19. 12. You stay quiet for the next minute or two, but you don't hear anything. 5 minutes goes past, and you still don't hear anything.
Nothing. Okay.
So no snoring, so there must not be any Nords in here.
Withering glance.
Yeah, you heard this too, Hamming.
Hamming rolls his eyes slightly.
Okay.
So I look at Jaquai and whisper, shall we head to the left and see what's down there?
Yeah, got to keep moving.
So I'll stay behind Jaquai if he and I are gonna head in that direction.
Okay. So you're heading towards so you've come in the door, you're looking to your left, you're heading down your left towards the barracks area, yes?
Through that hallway, yeah, just to see what's down there.
So,
Since the gate is closed in the other direction, correct? Even though it's just latched, it's closed.
yes.
Yeah.
So you head down there, still keeping your same stealth checks because you guys haven't moved or sort of like done anything to break your stance or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you get there, you get closer, and you get close to the corner, but you know that stepping into the corner to have a look around the corner is going to put you in bright light. So very wary. So who's approaching the corner?
Well, I would say that in his, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, in his thieves' tools, Mouse has a small mirror, which he can use to see if he can look around the corner without actually putting himself in
Awesome.
direct line of sight. Is that correct?
That was awesome. Mouse. Yes, roll a perception check, please, Mouse.
Well, okay, 8.
Yeah, it's you do start to hear now some breathing, some both of you hear that, but through the mirror you can't really see. I think you see like 4 or 5 beds up one side, and you think there's a lump in one of them, but you're not 100% sure.
I look at Jaquai and say, I'm sorry, very quietly. I'm sorry, it was my aunt's mirror. It's all clouded up. I can't see anything. It's an heirloom. I miss her so much. A little tear comes down the side of him.
Roll a performance check.
20 nat.
Oh, wow. This breaks
Sold.
your heart.
Oh, wow.
Your heart. This poor guy's heart.
I have to stifle back the tears.
Body is taking notes fervently in the.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jaquai will just stick his head around the corner.
Okay, roll a perception check, please.
15.
15, yeah. So you have a quick look around the corner, and with your nimbleness, you're able to look around, check all 4 corners of the room before something like that. Apart from the bed that's in the one that's to the very left and against the wall, you couldn't see that one properly. But you see in the 3 beds that are the ones closest to the door have all got somebody asleep in them. They all have sort of like bedding over the top of them. One of them is just sleeping in plain old ratty leather armor just on top of the covers. The other 2 are kind of beneath the covers, and you do see that their swords are next to the bed lying on the floor. But you see 3 lumps. See 3 people.
Are we able to relay that to the rest of the group, or are they too far behind us at this point? I haven't.
Sort of like orbit this a little bit more with your mirror. How would you relay to the rest of your party who are looking down the hallway at you? Jaquai right next to you can whisper to you that he sees 3 people.
Okay. And I'll hold up my hand to the group with 3 fingers up. If they're within sight.
Yeah, all of them are looking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And I'll make the universal "Are they asleep?" gesture by holding my head to one hand, one side with my arms. You know.
And I'll nod. Yes.
Okay. So, what would you like to do?
Are we still in the same initiative order or whatever, attack order?
No. No, you're out of combat now, so it would be.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I look at Jaquai. They're asleep, so we have certainly a surprise advantage here. Mm-hmm. Mouse can use his sneak attack to attempt to take out the closest one in the bed, although we still can't see around the corner to the left, right? So we don't know if there's a 4th one in that bed. But I think we're here. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, we risk breaking surprise if we bring up the Nords. So,
yeah, we can. Can we indicate to Luke to stay for now and perhaps draw Hamming up with us? quietly. His armor is somewhat less noisy, if I recall how you described it. Correct.
Mhm.
I don't know what his skills are in terms of stealth or not.
So he looks to you, Luke, and Mouse puts up his hand, sort of like holding up the accepted stop sign, and then he looks at you, Hamming, and Hamming he's pointing to you and sort of like he's motioning you forward.
Okay.
And also putting my hand down, just very quietly.
Very quietly.
After your last blunder, you sort of like kind of rewrite yourself. Do you want to roll another stealth check, please, while you get yourself sorted and sort of like lock down your arrows?
Let's do that. 19.
Nice.
So, yeah. You start to approach the party and you come up behind Mouse and Jaquai, who are just leaning over and they relay the information, so you know that there's 3 in there and that from what you can understand, all 3 are sleeping.
Okay.
So I would perhaps suggest that I try to get the drop on the closest one with a sneak attack and have these 2, at least Hamming, since he's an exceptionally good archer from what we can tell, back us up with his bow, and Shaquai with his obvious skills.
Yeah, you're thinking to yourself, you're not even worried about the third when it comes to...
Not really.
So, how would you like to proceed?
Well, does that sound good? I look at the 3 of them and make suggest that plan quietly.
And we should have Body up with us too, because she can help if things go south.
Okay. All right. Definitely. So we should motion for Body to come up quietly.
Buddy, you had like a 19, I think, stealth, I think. So you come up quietly, so he motions to you. So, Luke, you're sort of like standing back there, standing guard. Mm-hmm. You're sort of like holding your shield, and you've got your hammer out, and you're ready to sort of like charge into the room if you start hearing screams. In the air.
So now we are all on one side of the door at this point.
The door. There is no door. Just look at it. It's just a corner.
Well, yeah.
So
okay, all right.
The braziers to your right, and you're looking around the corner. You can see the door out on the far end, and then to the right, there's a line of beds, and there's probably about 5 beds to the right and 2 to the left.
Right.
But the 3 that's closest to the door, which is the door which leads out, are the ones that are filled.
Okay, all right.
So you stealthily come up to the right, and you're going in close to the one closest in the closest bed.
Yes.
Jaquai, where are you going?
I'll take the farthest.
Jaquai, you creep around and you lean
Is that
as
the
you
one
go.
in the leather armor?
The one in the leather armor is the one that's closest to the door, which is the one that you're heading towards. Yes.
Okay.
So as you come around the corner, Mouse and Jaquai, you look to your left, and there's nobody there. It's just a little pull chain, and you look above you. There seems to be like some spikes that come through. It seems like a gate if you pull the chains, a gate can come down, but it seems to be open at the moment. And you head to the far side. You go to the left a bit, and then you go back to the fore, and then turn right and come up to the edge of the bed where they're lying. And Hamming and Botty, what are you getting ready? You're looking in at the situation. You're seeing them heading towards these 3 bodies. What are you doing at the moment?
I am knocking my bow, getting ready in case.
Okay. Roll an intelligence check, please, Hemming.
Is that a 20?
Yes, roll a 20. And
jeez. Oh boy!
Don't forget to add your modifiers.
It's a 1.
Okay, no worries. Okay, well, we'll carry on. And Butty, you are also there, just at the thing. You see the two of them approach the two bodies, and Butty, you see Hamming pull his bow, and it's a lot longer, it's a lot larger than your bow. This is definitely a Nord's bow. It's really, it's probably head to toe your size. And you see him pull out this really well-made steel arrow and just pull back, and it's probably like full. You hear the slight creak, and you see him stopping just as he starts to hear the creak of the bow, just so it doesn't make any noise until the other two have made their strikes. So as you're watching this, what are you doing? What are you getting ready?
I draw my sword.
You draw your rapier? Oh, you draw your sword. Yes, you draw your sword. Let's see. Everybody, no, let's just go with it. Seeing as you have surprise in your attack, so you're both going at the same time. But we'll say you're looking at Jaquai and Mouse. You are looking at each other, and you're going like 1, 2, 3. So Mouse will go with you first. So roll your d20 and roll with advantage because he is prone. He's lying down, sleeping, conscious.
I got 8. 8 plus 5, so 13.
14 just hits. 13, and you manage to sink in. So roll damage.
And that's a d4 for 2.
2?
Well, 2 plus. What do I forget for damage? It's dexterity, but not with proficiency, right? Yeah.
No, not proficiency, but you roll damage and then sneak attack damage.
Oh, pardon me. You're right. So 2 on that. So 4 plus dex.
Plus dex.
Yeah, so 7.
And did you want to use your bonus action go with your offhand attack that we found out last time, which I messed up?
I don't really. Well, I can try my. I only have 1 dagger, so what would?
Hey, you have 2 daggers.
Oh, I do.
You have 2 daggers. Yes.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah. Okay. I apologize. When I redid my thing, I thought I only had 1 dagger. So, yeah. Let me roll.
So with your bonus, so
second dagger here.
You don't add your dexterity to the damage for the second one.
Okay, so 3 for that.
That's just 3 damage.
But not sneak attack either, correct?
No.
No. Okay, so I've already. All right, so it's 3. So that's 10 total.
10 total. So you get it right inside the guts and sort of like, with the first dagger, go straight into the chest, and you're heading for the throat. But as you're doing him, you see his eyes opening, and he's looking directly at you. And you see him start to move his hands. He starts going. He's still up. He still looks like he's ready to move. He's trying to take you. So now at the same time, Jaquai, do you want to roll your attack?
Mm-hmm.
With advantage because he's prone.
Right. So 15.
15, that hits.
Right. And I'll be doing a claws attack. So that's 7.
Okay, 7 damage with your first attack.
Right.
Slash him right across the throat with the first swipe of the right hand.
Right. This guy's in armor, so I'm going to use a key point. Second attack is a 6.
To attack or damage. You need to roll
damage.
to attack. No, you need to roll to
attack again. Okay.
Roll a d20 again with advantage.
25.
Was it a natural 20 or just...
No, 19
19,
plus.
19.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, 19. So roll for damage. You already rolled that, which was another 6. So what was that? 7? That was 12.
All right, and then attack again.
No, it's all right. He's already dead.
Oh, okay. Damn it, wasted a key point.
Yeah. So you come in a claws attack and you rip through the top part of the guy, and you know that you've just missed the jugular with your first strike. So you come back with your second strike and rip out the whole bottom part of his throat with the second one, and just literally he doesn't even have a chance to open his eyes. It's just the second one is just an instant kill. And Botty and Hamming, you're both seeing this. So you see the guy who Mouse has just stabbed twice. He's got up and he's moving, and he's instinctually put his hand out to the left, and he's reaching down for his sword that's lying on the floor. What do you do?
Can I attack him with a bow?
Sure. Roll with disadvantage. Roll twice and take the lesser of the two rolls. Yeah, because he's prone and it's harder to hit a flat target with a ranged weapon.
Okay. Let's see. A 19 and a 14, so 14.
Oh, 14. And that you rolled a 14, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, you definitely hit. So roll damage, that's 1d8 plus 3, I believe. So just roll a d8.
And a 1.
A 1 plus 3, so that's 4 damage. So with the 10, yeah, so that's it. So as you're sitting there, you're looking at this guy directly in the eye, Mouse, and and he's reaching for the sword, and you're trying to pull the dagger out again to get a third hit in, when an arrow comes out from the right straight into his eye and through into his brain. And he goes, as this commotion is going on, the guy in the middle, sort of like the covers come off, and he starts, "What the fuck?" And he reaches down for his weapon and manages to grab hold of it. Botty, what are you doing?
I'm running towards that guy with my sword over my head, 2 hands held high, screaming top of my lungs for the Dovahkiin.
So roll a performance check first of all.
What do you mean performance? I'm highly offended by that. Off. 19. Ooh, nice. And do I have a performance? I assume I have
charisma.
Yeah, charisma's plus 3, yeah.
3.
So
yeah.
you're all lucky this, and it seems more of a ballet, of a dance, as she's stepping through and she's screaming out at the Dovahkiin as she plunges her sword. So roll for attack. We can't ruin this, Botty. Come on, roll for attack.
I'm sorry. What was the for that sword?
Roll a d20, and with advantage because he's in bed. He's still getting up, so he's still lying down flat. So roll
2. 11. Oh, that sucks.
But did you roll an 11? Because you had a plus 3 to that.
Yeah, he rolled an 11. He's using roll 20.
14.
Okay. 14, yes, so that definitely hits. So with your sword, so now roll 1d6. And then add 3, and then plus 3, which is 6, and then roll another d4.
2.
2. So that was 9 points of damage. So you see Botty coming in, Dovahkiin, and she managed to spring down a new ancient Nord sword that she got in the tomb. And as it comes down, it clips right across his chest. And as you see this mist, this like frost mist just comes up off his chest from the wound, as if it's been instantly cooled down after it's been hit. But he is a Nord, so he only takes half damage. So that was 7 damage in total. but he's still up. Is there anything else? So, seeing as Mouse will go first, let's say you were first in the cap order, you see that the guy's still up. She's done a lot of damage to him, but he's still reaching for a sword and starting to get up. What would you do?
Hey, Colin, before you start this round, so how far am I from the action since I hung back?
I would say you're at most probably about 50 or 60 feet away.
Okay, so as soon as I hear Body's little performance, I'll say, okay, we're not stealthy anymore, so I'm gonna move towards the. I'm gonna spend this round moving towards the action.
Okay, so you're all the way down. And Mouse?
Yeah, so I guess, and how far away is this next bed?
It's literally right next to each other. There's probably about 5 foot between you.
All right, well, I'm going to draw my dagger out of the first victim and leap across him, essentially on top of this next one, and attack with both daggers.
Okay, well, seeing his body is right above him.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not. Yeah, since we.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. If you want, no, actually, he's still in bed, so you can't get behind him. So, roll for attack.
I'll try not to damage Body's loot.
No, I was trying to see if you would have advantage on the roll.
I attack with well, I rolled a 15 plus.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah,
that hits. So for damage. So with your first dagger.
4 plus 7.
Yeah, with that, you just leap across the bed, and with the sword slash, where he's looking down and sort of like he sees the frost damage and he knows what it is, and he looks up at you, Botty, and he goes, "Arr!" And he kind of like laughs and growls at the same time. And then as you're watching that, you see a dagger just go right through the side of his throat and out through the other one, and all you hear is as he falls back into the bed. You have a quick look around, and there doesn't seem to be anybody else around. And we didn't even have to get into rolling for initiative with that one.
Nice.
We would definitely know if there was anybody else in the building with Body's performance.
It'd be good. Well, it's a pretty big keep, and she did. She managed to project her voice without screaming her voice with that performance check, so you're not too particularly sure. It was very localized.
Nice.
I localize my performances. Thank you very much.
So, what would you like to do?
Mouse is first going to look at Body and mutter something about Dovahkiin under his breath and sort of make a spitting noise and then kind of walk away towards the arrow in the other guy's eye, see if he can pull that out of the eye and give it back to Hamming.
Yeah, with your proficiency with the bow, it's not too hard, and it's gone into all soft tissue, so without issue you managed to pull out and you head back towards Hamming. So Hamming, you've seen this as well as watching Botty's performance as she's straight sort of like, running through, sort of like, screaming Dovahkiin, with a nice pirouette as she landed her blow with a sword, and you've just joined the fray, Luke. What would you like to do?
Taking in the corpses, and clearly the party, my fellow party members have taken care of business here. I'm going to start searching the room quietly, and in case there's anybody in the next, upstairs or next room, for signs of this skooma operation or skooma that we've heard about.
Okay, so can you you're investigating all the bodies or just the room?
Yeah, bodies. With their bed rolls, their chests. Wherever it looks like there might be either their personal stashes or maybe more importantly signs
roll
of this.
Roll an
operation.
investigation check, please.
Can we all join into this, or is this?
You searching as well?
If we can, yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right,
I have mouse and well, no, you roll with advantage, Ben.
Okie dokie. All right, so I'm not proficient, but that is intelligence, or is that intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have a 17 on that check with advantage.
Okay, so yeah, as you're going through all the bodies, you managed to find 6 silver pieces on each of the bodies. 5 or 6 silver pieces, but we'll say 6 collectively over the 3. So it was 6, well, so 18 silver pieces from all the bodies. You all find that probably about 5.5 bottles of skooma between all 3 of them, and all of them had them in their pockets or in pouches on their armor. Some with bottles that are completely filled, and some are half filled. Some of them have been used.
Okay, so with the silver, as is my custom, I show it to all the party members, including Hamming. So show the findings, and then so they all have an opportunity to see what we found. Then I add it to the collective pouch. And then for the skooma, given that Lucas had time to prepare himself and was fully expecting to find some this time, in this case, unless somebody stops me, I pour all the skooma out and just grind it under my iron heel, into the dirt of the floor. But I save the bottles so that Ninya can. Actually, I'll save one bottle intact because Ninya may want to examine it, and I'll save all the bottles. But assuming that no one stops me, I'll dump all the skooma except for one bottle, which I save in case Ninya wants to examine it, and put those in a pouch or something as well. And I don't ask anybody's permission. I do this unless somebody actively stops me.
So you guys,
I give Hamming a little bit of an eye, a little bit of a side eye as I do this, just to see what his reaction is going to be, because we don't know exactly what his motivations are at this point.
I'm not going to stop you. I have no use for. Moss has no use for skooma.
Nope, Hemming is not going to stop him, but looks at him curiously.
He did notice that he picked up all the silver pieces from all the boat and put it into his own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
No, but after showing the entire party, including Hemming, how much was in my hands.
Yeah, he showed it to you, and then he put it in his pocket.
And he's a big, fully armored Nord.
Yeah.
We'll arm wrestle for it.
So.
And so have I, and that's about it. That's all we can find, or do I? Still
you find like, all of them have normal short swords on them, a couple of light shields, some really crappy, well used like hide armor, leather armor, but it's all like piecemeal, scrappy stuff that's been well worn and old. Some of the swords that they use are sort of like gonna have chips in them, but other than that, there is nothing really of value in the.
No chests in the room or anything like that, or
nothing in that. There is an old chest, but it's empty. So
okay.
Hey, Colin, sorry to obsess over the skooma. Are all the skooma bottles identical? Because I remember there's been some talk about different bottles and types. And are they all?
They're all identical. Yes.
Okay. All right. I do what I said. Then I save one full, and then I save the rest of empty bottles. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So,
and before we get too far beyond the subject, Body has a couple of coins that we found when moving that dead body up on the tower, right? I like to toss those over to Luke, show him those, and have him toss those in the sack.
All right.
Okay, so she gives you 6 silver.
Got it.
So you've come into the keep now. and you see this place seems to be pretty clear, pretty quiet, and you're having to listen out, but you can't hear anything too wild now. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm wondering if we should take, since we seem to have taken care of things here and we don't hear anything happening, I assume by now it must be around 10 or 11 in the evening at this point. Even though each move takes 6 seconds. So I would gather the group together and say, do you think it's safe to rest here for an hour or two? I don't think any of us took any damage, right? So we're all still fully healthy.
Yep. I've used one spell earlier, and that was it. That's all I've used.
I'm just putting it out to the group. Is it worth resting here for a bit, or shall we go down the other way and go through that gate and see?
So there was one gate out of this room, right?
In here, there's a door outside.
Yeah.
And then if you go back to where you're going, you can the door that you came into the tower. If you turn right, there's a gate there, and it leads further down into the keep.
Yeah.
So Jaquai could use a rest, since I burned a key point.
How long do you need, Jaquai?
An hour plus 30 minutes of meditation.
I think we can afford that, right? It's late.
If
there's anybody else asleep, I don't think anybody's going to wake up between now and then.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should let everyone rest, but then I think it'd be good to explore before their next change in the guard, because we may be able to steal surprise on any remaining bandits.
Actually, we could ask Hamming if he has noted the times of the changing of the guard. Can we do that?
Wasn't that morning? Did we confirm that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he confirmed that they wouldn't be around until the next morning.
Okay. All right. So we rest for an hour or two.
Okay. So are you all just sitting around having a rest, or are you sleeping, or is there anything you wanted to accomplish within the rest?
Remind me, I think spells recover after a long rest or a short rest?
A long rest.
Long rest. Okay, I will not attempt a long rest, so I'm good.
There's a couple of things that do short rests, but not that particular spell.
No, Mouse is just going to find a chair and pull a small rag out of his backpack and clean his blades, and sit quietly.
So I'll observe. So Hamming, what is Hamming? What do you do? Do you sit quietly? Do you pace? Do you pray? What does Hamming do during this interlude?
Hamming is he's sitting quietly in the corner, consulting a book, a journal he has for his current mission with Kine.
Okay,
yeah, you will notice that the symbol of Kinnereth is prominent on the armor of your new Nord friend. He has a symbol of Kinnereth around his neck, and there's also a symbol of Kinnereth on the front of his shield.
Yeah. So having noted that, and now that we're in a quiet moment, I ask Hamming, friend, may we retreat to a quiet corner and have a word.
Yes, Hamming agrees. Sure.
So, and I say, obviously, we seem to have a worship or at least respect for Kinnereth.
Sorry, I think you misunderstood me, Luke. I was telling Hamming that you.
Sorry. I thought because earlier there was something I misheard you. I did mishear. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
So Hamming noticed you have Kine on your shield, or a Kinnereth, and one around your neck.
Okay. I still ask for a quiet word, but without the reference to Kine. I still may we have a quiet word in this corner.
Yeah, and Hamming agrees.
So
Mouse turns so that he can listen in if possible.
I don't object to Mouse listening in, but it's up to Hamming whether he does or not.
Hamming pretends he doesn't notice.
Roll a perception check, Mouse.
Yes. Well, let's see. I have 7.
7. You hear some mumble things, and you hear every other word, but you don't get the full gist of the conversation.
Mouse mutters, "Goddamn earwax!" Scratches at his ear.
Go ahead.
So Colin, does my ancient Nord knowledge of ancient Nord include a spoken language or only a written language?
No, you can. Because of recently, you've also got to hear it spoken firsthand, and you can now sort of like speak a little bit of it.
So I asked Hamming in ancient Nord. I said, "Do you speak this tongue of our forebears?"
Hamming, you have no idea what the fuck he just said. Right at you.
All right, fair. And given the blank look, I continue I said, "Never mind. Never mind." It was a snippet of ancient Nord. I have no secrets from you or anyone else in this party. I was tasked by Kennerath to come to Skyrim and to find a guide. I know not why otherwise. I traveled with the bard you see there. I point to Body. We encountered the respected monk, went into Jaquai, and continued our journey. We also encountered the Imperial over there, pointing at a mouse, and I thought perhaps he was my guide, but I don't know. What may I ask? What brings you here to this place? What brings you here to Helgen?
Hamming will coyly admit that he is exploring his past.
You past. You.
I should say yes.
So Hamming is about the same age as Mouse, 20s, right?
Yeah.
So are you a native of Helgen? Were you born here? Do you have a past here in Helgen specifically?
Yes, he does. He's not willingly opening up to that as of yet.
Okay.
Yes, he does. But
yeah, he's asking you, the character, so you would literally, if you don't want him to know that, you just turn around and go, "It's none of your fucking business, fuck off." So he wouldn't learn that, so whatever Hamming would say, just say that back to him.
Let's see. Yes, I do have a past here, but it's not something I wish to get into at this moment.
Okay. Well, if we're somewhat combining our mission. Our respected monk, pointing to Jaquai, has business with one of his fellow Khajiit who may be found in Whiterun. I'll let him explain that to you himself later if he wants to. And we are also trying to help the Jarl of Falkreath with an investigation into this skooma. I kind of make a face when I say skooma. But if you'd like to join us, perhaps we can share experiences. As long as you show proper respect to the other members of our party, we can perhaps advance each other's interests.
I will definitely consider that. I do have some questions about the allegiance of the bard, however.
After the 14th verse of the Dragonborn comes, Body puts away the loot.
I've found our bardic friend to be very much an open book. I'm sure she'll be happy to describe her allegiances to you personally.
I have no specific allegiances other than to find information on this the Dragonborn, the Dovahkiin, our inspiration and savior. The Dragonborn comes. Here. Would you like to hear the 15th verse?
I'd prefer.
At this point, Mouse gets up and kind of quietly walks out of the room into the outer hallway.
Haming is obviously perturbed at the Dragonborn comes constant in a constant loop, and so I'm now questioning our fine female bard here. So what is it about this supposedly wonderful Dragonborn that you so opine for?
He is the hero of our stories of my childhood, and I've come to learn everything that I can of the history of the Dragonborn. Is there something that you can inform me? You being here of Helgen, this is supposedly where his story began. Do you know the story of being of Helgen descent?
He is death.
Oh my.
And then Haming walks away.
So with a very serious, stern look on his face, Haming, although he just seems like a bedraggled, sort of like commoner, it suddenly takes on a more sort of like aggressive stance and just looks you dead in the eye and just says, "He is death," and he follows Mouse out of the room.
Hmm.
And has Mouse heard him say this?
Yes, yeah, you would have been walking out as he said it.
Yeah. Mouse turns to Hemming and puts his arm around his shoulder and gives him a pat and nod. And they just silence, doesn't say anything else.
Okay, so it's been about an hour. An hour and a half. So, Jaquai, you've managed to regain your key point. You've all fully rested. If not, slightly agitated now for some. And you're all ready to carry on with what you want to do. So, what would you like to do?
Jaquai's ready to go deeper into the keep.
Let's do it.
Agreed.
Okay. So, what's the marching order here? You now approach the. Oh, sorry. Have we been going that long? I thought we've been only going for about 42 minutes.
Mouse doesn't always wisely use his time.
Mouse would like to find a dark corner in the upper part of the keep with a little bit of privacy. But otherwise, he's happy to go and through the next gate and see what's beyond.
You know how to drive an Imperial crazy, right? You put him in a round keep and tell him to piss in the corner.
So while Mouse goes and tries to find that corner, we shall come back. So thank you again for listening to Skyrim 10 AD and interesting opinions differing or conflicts may be arising in the party and when true feelings start to arise next time on Skyrim 10 AD. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Thank you for downloading this edition of Skyrim 10 AD. Email the show at skyrim10ad@gmail.com. For more information, please visit asapodcasting.com, where you will find a Skyrim Addict podcast, the Fallout feed, and our Amazon link, which benefits the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Find our social media in the show notes. Thanks for listening.
Skyrim 1080 would like to thank Tabletop Audio for the use of their music in this podcast. If you would like to find more music like this, just go to tabletopaudio.com for more information. Thank you.